So, hello again, and welcome to another interview of an interesting person here in the North Central region of the Astronomical League. I'd like to introduce Josef Chlachula. Uh, Perhaps you
Chlachula.
can correct me if I'm not saying your name correctly, Joseph. But Joseph is our webmaster for the region and is taking care of our NCrawl website. And I'd like to introduce him, and maybe I could start just with a question. Joseph, can you uh, tell everyone, you know, uh, basically where you're from and how you got involved in astronomy?
Sure. So I am Josef Chlachula, and I was born in Czechoslovakia. And many people, have a hard time, to pronounce my last name, and I am always responding, Joseph is fine, So, and well, to answer your question, how I got involved in astronomy, well, there are several things, and I think that one important is, as I said, I was born in Czechoslovakia at age 5. I experienced the hype about first man in space, Yuri Gagarin. And I remember, that excitement and I was excited with my sister, and we were jumping and everything. And my parents were like kind of, oh, okay, because their point was, okay, yes, it's exciting, but it happened on the wrong side. And so my first interest was like in space flights. And I also remember I was like 5 and close to our house, we were coming back home, and there was guy with telescope, and he was probably observing moon, and my parents were trying to show me moon, and I remember I didn't see anything. And so later in my astronomy career, I was trying to make sure that those kids looking at telescope, they really see something, because for kids it's very difficult sometimes, if they are not familiar with telescopes and viewing to see moon. And in later years, my father, he brought me from his work, like technical magazine, technical newspapers, and there were many articles about space, especially about Gemini and Apollo era. And so I cut out those articles, and I had my notebook, and so on. So it was uh, it was again my interest in space, and then about age 14, 15, basically I was more interested in astronomy. I built my first telescope, like with 50 millimeter lens, and yeah, so these are my beginnings.
Oh, good. Um, so, what brought you to the United States?
Well, it's okay. So as I said, I built my first telescope, and then I purchased 6-inch mirror. I had my second telescope, Newtonian, and I joined uh, I joined astronomy club basically at the end of my high school, and I studied chemical high school, and then I went to college, and again basically my orientation was chemistry, and I was commuting like 20, 30 miles. And one morning, it was like 5:30 a.m. I am in jam-packed bus and I am next to driver, and on horizon I see twilight, and in the twilight was comet. And I decided, that it would be fun to compute orbit of that comet. And so I went to public library, all those books about celestial mechanics, and basically I learned how to compute, elliptical orbit of comet. And at our club, I found other guy who was interested in the same things. And so basically in that time, you know, it was like first calculators and so on. So we were supporting each other and we learned how to compute. Then he had access to big mainframe, and so we were learning how to do programming, and we were meeting each other sometimes in pub, and instead of drinking beer, we had those big papers, from computer printers, and we were searching, how to debug those mistakes and so on. So basically, to make long story short, when I finished college, I decided not to continue in, or not to take some chemistry job, but I took actually IT job in nowadays terms, So I was working as a programmer. Later, I became head of computer center at my university, and so my main what I saw, my main task was actually to connect the university to the internet. And so in early 90s, I was only one person in my city where people could communicate by the internet. And so many foreigners basically says, "Oh, you have email," and I responded, and so on. And one of those people was actually my future wife, and when we got married, so we came to the United States, and here I am. So basically, this is my story, and behind that story is actually Comet.
So a comet and your wife brought you to the United States eventually.
Correct, correct.
And so you came to Rochester. Why
I
did you
came
come to
to
Rochester?
I came to New Prague, where is my wife from, and I came to Rochester because I got a job at IBM,
Hmm.
and I can actually just for 1 year here I am. So
And you stayed.
yes, yes, yes. I mean, and Rochester has, Rochester is famous for Mayo Clinic, and it's without doubt, good city for family life.
Yes, Rochester is very nice. My wife and I have come to Rochester for medical treatments as well. It's a great place to come, great place to stay,
Absolutely.
and a lot of good people. Um, so how did you get involved with the Rochester Astronomy Club?
Well, I am member of club about 2000, I don't know, 8, 9, in that time frame. And what I am missing here in Rochester is actually observatory. Unfortunately, here is no public observatory, so our club, once a while we are doing public observing on some spot. And so what I did 10 years ago, actually with other club member, we decided that we will do this public observing on a regular basis. And so this is what uh, basically we are trying to replace, that public observatory, but we are trying to give people chance to at least once a month to come somewhere and to see sky and uh, we are doing it now all year, including winter months, and we are teaming with some other organization lately with Oxbow Nature Center, and so basically we have in winter we have presentation, and if there is uh, clear sky, so we do observing, or we in summer months it's much easier. So in summer months we do public observing basically every 2 weeks.
That's good. Do you bring your own telescopes out, or does the club have telescopes that you can use?
Um, Members, they bring their own telescopes. I tend club telescope, and which is good, but um, as you know, to come early evening and to do that setup, and people are anxious, when you will be done, when we can see something, and so this is where that real observatory would be really nice, because you would just switch on and you would be ready to observe. Maybe someday we will be there. We are not there yet.
Maybe that can be your next goal.
Well, both of us, we know that this is not easy from many perspectives. The most important is actually to keep people interested and club healthy and engaged. So this is what I
Yes.
am trying to do here.
Do you have connection with any other clubs nearby?
Well, our club actually was participating in last, I would say, 15 years or something like that, in three conferences, either here in Rochester or close by in Leesboro, or last year in Minneapolis, and so. Uh, I didn't have actually, if you would ask me in my early years as a member of our Rochester Astronomy Club, I didn't have any idea about North Central Region Astronomy League. I would say, what is that? And because we were organizing those conferences, I learned something about that, and so now I have some connections, and it's because I was participating in organizing those conferences, and I think that is wonderful.
It's a great way to meet people and enjoy
Absolutely.
other people's interests as well. Um, Let me ask you this: what kind of observing goals do you have? What's your favorite objects, or what do you like to observe?
Um, right now I concentrate on like general public. So basically to make sure that I would cover basically what people should know. But before that, in my early years in Czechoslovakia, I was observing variable stars. So basically, I would say that it was like citizen science, and we were shipping reports and so on. and it was just the visual method. Of course, in those decades, uh, it changed a lot, and right now people are observing variable stars with CCD cameras. Actually, there are no CCD cameras anymore. There are CMOS cameras, and so the field changed a lot. And I am still in contact with those variable stars observers, but I am not active in this field anymore.
So you would be interested in stars like Algol that vary
Correct,
in
correct,
brightness or
correct,
pulsate.
correct. Correct, correct,
Yeah,
correct, correct.
eclipsing
Algol is
binaries.
actually, and speaking about Algol, recently I was like, this is something would I could point to public, but basically what I am thinking that we should have actually Algol minimum predictions and then point to people tomorrow. Look at the same star, and it will be much dimmer than today. Or if we will be lucky, it will be in our observing session, but basically it's only several hours, so the probability that they will be able to observe it, it's low. Um, like that visual observing generally and visual observing of variable stars takes a lot of time and patience.
Yeah.
And so, with that public engagement, this is not something, what is easy to share. But with club members, yes, it's possible.
Have you done any of the Astronomical League observing programs?
Uh, I was looking at that, but my simple answer is no.
So that might be something that you could get into. I think there's close to 100 observing programs.
That's correct. What I am actually thinking. I am thinking like about just constellations, because this is something what I show to general public, and these type of things like low level, but they are not low level if you really should go through like to know all constellations. Recently also, well, recently, it's like 10 years ago, International Astronomy Union, they named officially stars. And so some star names I should refresh because they could change, from what I know. And so I'm thinking about Astronomy League program like that.
Hmm. Well, Joseph, I think this has been a good introduction for you to the people who might come to the YouTube site here. And I guess is there anything else you'd like to leave us with before we conclude the interview here?
Well, I would say I am thank you that I can be webmaster for NCRAL, and I think that there is great opportunity to be connected through media, through technology, and so I enjoy it, and thank you for this opportunity.
Well, let me thank you. You're the one that needs to be thanked. All I did was provide you the opportunity, but you've embraced it and you're doing a fantastic job. And I think the region is going to be a lot better because of your help. So
Thank you.
thank you. Thank you very much. And I think with that, we will conclude today's interview and sign off. Thank you.
Clear skies.